Welcome to Gracefully Booked, a Christian romance podcast where we love to discuss Christian fiction, especially the mushy-gushy happy endings. We love stories, but never forget the greatest love story of all, which is the love Jesus had for us when he died on the cross to pay the debt we could never hope to cover on our own. I'm your host, Tanya Wood, and I'm so thankful you're here today. Let's start off with a small prayer, and then we'll dive into today's episode of Gracefully Booked. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for another opportunity to be on this podcast, Lord, to reach out to listeners. You know what they're seeking, Lord. You know what they need. And I pray, Lord, that I can just be some sort of stepping stone to get them to where they need to be with you, Lord. And I thank you so much, Lord. I'm grateful to everybody who listens today. Please meet their needs, Lord. Please heal them if they need healing. And Father, you know what they need. And I'm confident, Father, that you will help them in whatever way they may need. I give you the praise, the honor, and the glory in your holy name. Amen. All right, guys. Well, it is very late on Wednesday, May 22nd. I don't know if I will have this uploaded tonight, but we'll definitely have it uploaded by tomorrow. So in that case, if it does not make it online by tonight, I would like to wish a belated happy birthday to R. Marshall Wright. I mentioned him in my first episode. I told you guys about one of his books. I hope that you had a chance to go check it out. And I have some more recommendations for you today, so we're just going to dive right on into it. All right. So back in the Avid Readers of Christian Fiction group, I have been going through all of the comments that everybody has left me, and I was able to find you some more recommendations. So the first one comes from Jennifer Arrington. She writes contemporary romances. She has The Counting Tree and Trusting for Tomorrow. They are both indie books, and she says that she has more on the way. So the one that I chose to go with is Trusting for Tomorrow. It has 63 ratings on Amazon, a 4.4 out of 5 stars. It is $5.99 for the Kindle version. There is no paperback version that I can see, and this is also available in Kindle Unlimited. So I'll just go ahead and jump right in and give you all the blurb. A story of love, both lost and found, and of a mother unafraid to fight for her sick child. On the spectacular coast of Jupiter, Florida, Catherine Douglas has finally established a stable environment for her family following the sudden death of her husband. Together with her young girls, she is gaining confidence and finding snatches of joy in the carefully planned routines of their altered lives. When Catherine develops an unexpected friendship with Michael, a widowed pediatrician who is new to the area, she lets down her guard. She seeks his advice as Alyssa, her youngest, experiences chronic health problems. To complicate matters, Catherine finds herself attracted to Michael, despite his stubborn unwillingness to get to the root of Alyssa's problem. Suddenly, her life is no longer predictable. Her emotions are in turmoil, and Alyssa's health issues must be resolved. Can a single mother face her child's illness alone? Can she relinquish her fear of loving again? Only if she learns to trust God can she step into the bright tomorrow He has planned for her. If you're looking for a heartwarming romance and a book packed with emotion, Trusting for Tomorrow is the book for you. Download this book today and allow yourself to fall in love again. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for sharing your books with us. Guys, make sure that you go check out Trusting for Tomorrow. I am adding it to my wish list as we speak. This was published on March 13th, 2009, and I really love to push older books out because I know that it's really easy to get lost in the abundance of all the books that get published today. So I'm always happy to help somebody that has an older book that they want to have fresh eyes on. So really honored to be able to help you with that, Jennifer. All right, so next on here, the next author that I looked at their comment comes to us from John Galt Robinson. And he says, "Thank you. Mine are Christian fiction suspense thrillers that will appeal to both male and female readers, with my dual protagonists, Joe Oceanic, a Navy SEAL platoon leader, and Dr. Christy Tabrizi, a beautiful, fiercely dedicated, and compassionate ER physician. In the first 3 novels of the series, they confront the horrors of the Central American cartels and human trafficking, but the series is moving on to other issues. Plenty of medical drama, naval special warfare, political intrigue, and a hint of a slow-burning romance. Link to my website that is under construction below, but it will currently take you to my author page. All right. So his website is www.johngaltrobinson.com. And the book that pops up is Power City. I went ahead and looked that up on Amazon. The Kindle version is $3.99, and it is also in Kindle Unlimited, or you can get the paperback for $13.69. This book was published on June 10th of 2021, and I'm just going to go ahead and dive on into the blurb. A man is mysteriously swept over Niagara Falls. The city of Niagara Falls, nicknamed the Power City, finds itself in the shadow of a new power broker, the Catalano organization. This resurgent mafia family's rise to power leaves a trail of death and corruption in its wake. Navy SEAL Joe Oceanic is their next target for execution, but the sinister reach of the Catalano organization extends beyond Oceanic to his family and physician friend, Dr. Christy Tabrisi. However, this criminal organization forgot one thing: Navy SEALs leaving no man behind. Power City explores the dark world of organized crime while weaving a story of faith and the selfless love of one's family and friends in a roller coaster ride of crime, medicine, military action, and suspense. This book has 34 ratings on Amazon with a 4.9 out of 5 stars. I would just like to say that this is exactly how you write a blurb. And also just the writing that he put into his comment, I can tell that he is a talented writer. I'm not saying that, everybody that I put on here, I feel everybody has talent. I think that it takes a very strong mind to be able to put out a book. I feel like he has a way with words, and I've already added this to my wish list, and I'm ready to read it. So thank you for sharing with us, Mr. Robinson. Okay, so the next author is Liz Isaacson, and in her comments she says, I have a stable, ha ha ha, of Christian contemporary cowboy romance. And boy, is she not kidding, let me tell you. She has a ton of books. She does not play around. One of her series has 17 books in it, and she has a lot of series. The one that I picked was the Walker Brothers series, which has 8 books, and book number 1 is Rhett's Make-Believe Marriage, 7 Sons, Ranch in Three Rivers romance. And this is, let me tell you, if you like cowboys or westerns or dogs, I think Liz Isaacson has something for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the blurb to you. To save her business, she'll have to risk her heart. Will their fake marriage take them out of the friend zone? Rhett Walker has been in Three Rivers for a year, relying on the foster sisters next door as he rebuilds his ranch after a tornado hits town. He's closest to Evelyn, and they spend a lot of time together. While he's entertained thoughts of starting a relationship with her, there's always a boyfriend and their friendship between them. Evelyn Foster runs a successful, secretive matchmaking service for the women of Three Rivers. She helps set up situations so cowboys can get out of their own way and see the beautiful woman standing right in front of them. Business is great until people start to lose confidence in her abilities because her boyfriends all seem to break up with her. To save her business, she'll have to risk her heart and her pride. She knocks on Rhett's door, the only person she thinks will go along with her crazy plan. Could their make-believe marriage be exactly what they both need to get out of their own way and find a happily ever after? This book was published on September 3rd, 2019. It has 3,452 reviews with a 4.4 out of 5 stars. It is $6.99 on Kindle, also available on Kindle Unlimited, and is in paperback for $12.99. You can also get it on audiobook. The one thing that I can say about this is that I have seen a lot of posts on Facebook from people saying they wish that they could find Christian-themed versions of Bridgerton. And I think that this series could be a possibility for that. I will admit that I watched the first season of Bridgerton, and the Lord just, I got a smack on the wrist for that one. And I've never read the books, but I did watch that first season. And, for a lot of us, when we are reborn, when we give our lives to the Lord, we know that there's things we cannot go back to. As someone who loves to read, it's very hard to find a good book that, doesn't make you feel bad after you read it. Now, again, keep in mind that I haven't read any of these books that I'm recommending to you. But I don't think anybody would intentionally say that they have a Christian book that isn't Christian. But right here in the blurb for this book, it says, readers looking for a clean Christian book with mature but handsome cowboy billionaires and the women who love them will find heaps to enjoy starting with this book, a binge-worthy read in Detail magazine. So right there, that tells me all I need to know about it. But also, I just really love that we have this option, because as somebody who used to write very bad things and also used to read very bad things, you know, I really enjoyed shifter books, and I really enjoyed books about fairies, and handsome knights and princesses and dragons, and I want to read those stories still, but I know that there are certain elements that I cannot subject myself to. And I'm sure that most of you feel the same way. So I am absolutely thrilled that this series exists and that I get the vibe that it could be a good, clean Christian version of books like Bridgerton. Because we want to read about the romance and the tension and the meet cutes, but we would rather it fade to black. And there's some people that will disagree with me even on that. I used to be one of them. But there are varying audiences within the Christian fiction community. You're going to have people who want the strictly clean, doesn't go into any detail, blah da da. And I get that and I respect that, and I think that you can word things appropriately. I don't think there's ever any need to be vulgar, but you can always choose to do a fade to black. You can be realistic about situations because you are also going to have the readers who are curious about Christian fiction, but they're just not as far along into their journey as you are. And I have no idea why I went off on this, but it's just something that I want to share, something I have thought about. And I'm just so thrilled about this book and this series that it exists, and it is definitely on my wish list, and I will read it ASAP. So thank you, Liz Isaacson, and 3,452 reviews is very impressive. So you're doing it right, ma'am. Congratulations. All right, the next one, I really am hoping to have this video out by tomorrow. Shades of Autumn comes from Caroline Johnston, and it releases tomorrow, Thursday, May 23rd. It is available for $1.99 on Kindle. And Miss Johnston says, "Thank you, Tanya. What a wonderful idea. I write contemporary Christian fiction set here in Scotland. My Raincoats and Sunglasses series follows the lives of 3 characters. Shades of Autumn, the first book in my new Braid Hope series, releases on Thursday." All right. So here is the blurb for Shades of Autumn by Caroline Johnston. Can the beauty and charm of the Scottish Highlands set her free from the lies of her past? Lorna Campbell flees her abusive husband and her life in London for the refuge of Braid Hope, a Christian outdoor centre in the Scottish Highlands. When the owner's family learns of her plot, her stay is extended and complete with a part-time job and a place to stay. But even surrounded by beauty, friendship, and faith, memories of her marriage and fears of an unknown future plague her. Is her new life enough, or will her husband, with all of his wealth and promises, lure her back? Graham McAlpin, outdoor enthusiast and owner of Braid Hope, vowed never to fall for a guest again. But as soon as Lorna Campbell steps into the center, he knows he's in trouble. He is increasingly drawn to a secretive new guest and intent on getting to know her. When he finally discovers her story, he enters a heart-wrenching struggle that has repercussions for more than just himself. Amidst shades of autumn, can there be a happily ever after? Or will winter's chill descend on shattered dreams? Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Caroline. Guys, make sure that you go and get this book, and let's help support her on the day of her release. Up next, I have Terry Todd. She says, "I'd love for you to tell readers about my books. I've got 7 novels out and 2 more scheduled for this fall and 2025. Historical and split time set in Canada." So the one that I went with for Terry Todd is Bleak Landing. It was published on August 15th of 2017, and it was the cover that really grabbed me. So for those of you who would like to see the cover, check it out on Amazon or watch my video on YouTube when I get it uploaded. It is available for $3.99 on Kindle, or it's in Kindle Unlimited. There is an audiobook, and you can get the paperback for $12.95. It has 1,319 ratings, and it has an average of 4.6 out of 5. So from Terry Todd, this is Bleak Landing. In the dead-end Canadian town of Bleak Landing, 12-year-old Irish immigrant Bridget O'Sullivan lives in a ramshackle house and dreams of another life. even as the Great Depression rages. Routinely beaten by her father and bullied by schoolmate Victor Harrison, the waifish yet fiery redhead vows to run away and never return. Just a few short years later, run she does, fleeing the unspeakable repercussions of her father's gambling. In Winnipeg, Bridget lands a job at a garment factory, the first step on her journey to shed her past and begin anew. When her father dies, Bridget, now a striking and accomplished woman, returns home to claim her inheritance. But she has no identification to prove her stake, and no one in town recognizes her, except Victor, who has become a pastor and a candidate for town mayor. Though war has wounded him, his secret affection for Bridget remains, and now he's the only one who can help her prove her integrity. But can he also prove he's a changed man worthy of her forgiveness? As Victor preaches of freedom in faith, will his words spark Bridget's once hopeless heart and lead her to the life she's been seeking? I'm just so drawn to the cover of this book, and reading that blurb just sucked me in. And somehow I knew halfway through that being bullied by the schoolmate that of course he's going to be the one, in the middle of the story. It's kind of like the enemies to friends to more kind of storyline, and I always love those storylines. So I cannot wait to read this book. My to-be-read list is getting so long. So absolutely added to the wish list. We'll be getting it as soon as I can. Thank you, Terry, for sharing your book. Up next, we have Evelyn Grace, and she says, I'm an indie author. I have a series of 4 books plus a bonus standalone set in Maine. They are contemporary Christian romance. And what I've got for Evelyn is Seascapes, a contemporary Christian romance. It is Haven Book 1. This is a 4-book series, and then it has the standalone as well. It says that this was published in June of 2020, and it is on Kindle for $3.99. It is in Kindle Unlimited and paperback for $14.89. Has 62 ratings with an average of 4.7 out of 5. A childhood of pain, a mysterious necklace, a hope for the future. On the rugged coast of Maine, where crashing waves meet ancient cliffs, Kate Winters discovers more than just the local art. She starts her second chance, a chance to heal, to love, and to belong. Haunted by a past she's fought to forget, Kate's world is upended when a mysterious package arrives. Childhood memories threaten to engulf her. Can she risk letting others in, especially after meeting Drew Grant? Drew barges into her life, making her face things she's been avoiding. His presence is both a challenge and an invitation, one that Kate can't ignore. But her heart bears scars. She's vowed never to give it away again, fearing the pain of betrayal. As Kate grapples with forgiveness for those who wronged her, she finds refuge in the stained glass windows of a nearby church. She seeks solace in the one who truly forgives. Amidst the salt-kissed air, Kate wonders if love can bloom. Seascapes is the enchanting first installment of the Haven series by Evelyn Grace. The story invites readers to explore the delicate dance between forgiveness and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Dive into this sweet romance and discover the healing power of love. Thank you so much, Evelyn, for sharing your book with us. It's on my wish list, and I will get to that as soon as I possibly can. Our next book comes from Susanna Haymond, and she says, thank you for this opportunity. I'm an indie author and have 2 Christian suspense books published so far, similar to Dee Henderson and Lynette Eason. Now, I have never read either one of those, but if you are familiar with them, then I hope that this book gets you excited. The book is called Intercepted, A Girl Gone Missing Christian Suspense. It is book 1 of the Agents of Justice series. And this, on here, her name is Susanna Siegler Haymond, so I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but in case you're trying to look her up, that is where you will find her. This book has 235 ratings with a 4 out of 5 stars. It was published on February 26, 2016. It is available on Kindle Unlimited, $3.99 in ebook format, and $12.99 for paperback. Nora Milton believed her calling was to help lessen the suffering in a world filled with pain. It's chasing that calling, on a mission to help finish the construction of an orphanage in Mexico, that Nora meets mission pilot Anthony Goldberg. A spark is kindled between them, but it's cut short when Nora finds herself kidnapped at gunpoint. Desperate to save the woman his heart longs for, Anthony sets out on a search for Nora on his own. All too quickly, he learns just how dangerous leaving the safety of the compound can be, and finds himself entrenched in the dangerous drug trade. Hot on the heels of a notorious drug lord, DEA agent Greg Nelson is on a mission of his own to clear the streets of drugs. Joining forces with FBI agent Grisham, they work to close off one of the major drug pipelines from south of the border when they discover a young woman being held against her will. Together, can these two agents help Anthony save Nora before she's lost forever? Thank you so much, Susanna, for sharing your book with us. I hope you guys will add it to your wish list and go and check out her books. All right, guys. The last one that I would like to share with you this evening is from August 10th, 2018. It's called Flowers from Afghanistan, and it was written by Susie Parrish. In the comments, she said, "Hi, Tanya. My novel, Flowers from Afghanistan, is a work of women's contemporary fiction. It's based on life in a real-life military camp. My husband served there for a year and provided the sights and sounds for me. There's one true-to-life attack scene where God miraculously protected my husband. Thank you for your consideration." Susie, that is incredible. Thank your husband, please, for his service. I'm so appreciative, and I'm sure all the listeners are too. But that is wonderful to have that source of information just right there where you can just pick at his brain, whenever you need to. I have done so similarly with my brother, who used to be a police dispatcher and was a volunteer firefighter for over 20 years. So anytime that I had questions that pertained to anything with the police or the fire department or even Swiftwater Rescue, he was my go-to guy. So, which he probably still would be, but I know he must have got so annoyed with all my questions sometimes. Flowers from Afghanistan has 75 ratings on Amazon. It has a 4.7 out of 5. It is available on Kindle Unlimited. It is $4.99 for the ebook. $0. Well, that's with the membership trial of audiobook, and $11.97 for the paperback. Weighed down by guilt following the death of his 2-year-old son, Mac McCann accepts a year-long position training police officers in Afghanistan. Leaving his wife Sophie to grieve alone, he hopes the life-or-death distractions of his self-imposed exile will build a wall between him and his pain. As camaraderie builds between Mac and the men on base, including a local barbel and his precocious little boy, Mac's heart becomes invested in stories beyond his own tragedy, and he learns he is not the only one running from loss. But when the hour of attack arrives, will he be able to see past his guilt to believe there's still something, and someone, worth living for? With touching details based on true events, Flowers from Afghanistan is a redemptive journey of healing, a chronicle of hope and crisis, and a testament to the faithfulness of God through it all. Susie, this sounds like a wonderful book. I am adding it to my wish list as we speak, and I cannot wait to read that because that just... Am I going to cry? Because I feel like I'm going to cry when I read this. But if I do, it means you've done your job. So, congratulations, Susie. Thank you for sharing that with us. Guys, be sure to check her out. Susie Parrish, Flowers from Afghanistan. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for this episode. I really appreciate it. Just a reminder to follow, to like, to subscribe everywhere that you can, to tell others about this podcast. Let's help it to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. I did make a TikTok account today. It is Gracefully Booked PC on TikTok. If you would like to follow on YouTube, it is Gracefully Booked PC on there as well. Let's see. On X, it is GB Podcast 24. And then on Facebook, it is just the Gracefully Booked Podcast. You can find it on there pretty easy. And if you need to email, you can email to gracefully.bookedpodcast@gmail.com. All right, guys. Not quite 44 minutes, but it's more than 20 minutes, so I'm going to take that as a win. I would like to remind you all that I do offer formatting and book cover services, so if you're ever in need, please let me know. I am very flexible. I'm very reasonable. I do payment plans. I will help you in any way that I can to help you succeed because I remember what it was like back in 2011 when I published my first book, which is no longer available. But I remember how hard it was to navigate a new world, especially self-publishing, and trying to get a book cover and formatting. But yeah, if you ever need help with any of that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I hope that you will share this with your friends. Thank you to everybody who has reached out on the Avid Readers of Christian Fiction group, because that's where I'm getting all of these wonderful books and I can pass them on to everybody else. So here's to hoping that we can just keep it going. Let me know if you think that we should do weekly or daily episodes. I've not really had a lot going on this week, so I've been able to do these episodes more frequently, and I would love to continue doing them. I'm having so much fun, and I hope that you are too. So, interviews, they'll be happening soon. I think I figured it out. I'm also going to have my first giveaway really, really soon. So please just like the page and follow and subscribe everywhere that you can and share and let other people know. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you soon. This has been Gracefully Booked with Tanya Wood. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've found a new book to enjoy, and in turn will tell a friend. It's always a pleasure to share books, but may we always be attentive in sharing the gospel. May God bless you always. Until next time.